Welcome to Raw Take, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Dion Thomas. This is my co-host, D. Williams, and we got a special guest with us today, Dexter, Tesch, psychology major. So yeah, we're gonna be rocking today. But first,
so have y'all seen any UFOs lately? You guys seen any UFOs lately?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but
because it seems like the whole world is seeing UFOs, man. I want to see one too. So,
I'd love to see one.
right? Like I said, that's the one right there. Take me a picture and everything. I don't think I'd send mine in though because they might make fun of me if I do that.
Look at this dude.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think it's real? Because people are just seeing things because they're at home bored, trying to find something to do. What do y'all think about the whole UFO sightings? Because there's been a lot of them.
I think people are bored. People are at home. Anything, they can see a bird late at night flying and they'll be like, is that a UFO? Oh my God, the alien's about to come and get me. People are so bored, they have nothing to do. So, they see anything outside, any kind of little entertainment to get them. They're like, that's an alien. And, they've been saying for years. I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but aliens have been kind of like a big thing for years. Like people been seeing UFOs and stuff like that. So, maybe now it's just getting more attention because there's, either the world's on fire or, you got some weird, crazy stuff. So I feel like, more of the weird, crazy stuff. And right now people are just focusing on, aliens, I guess.
I mean, it's a hot topic.
I mean, when you're stuck inside all day and you have nothing to do, you start watching these alien shows, Alien versus Predator. You start hearing rustles in the trees and you're like, oh no, here we go. Something's about to come kill me. you see a plane flying above and you're like, is that aliens? Are they trying to communicate with us? I'm sure there are some people that truly believe that they're seeing extraterrestrials, aliens, but I'm sure a lot of his people are going a little stir crazy.
Yeah. And some of the people might be also
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of other things. They might be they might just be partying and stuff, and they're like, oh no, aliens,
Yeah, I'm telling what they'll see after that.
Yeah,
Somebody might say,
I see dead people.
Dead people. Oh man, they might be saying they see Jesus. They're like, oh my Lord, I saw Jesus and the aliens.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's enough, bro.
That's enough. On to a more serious note. Yesterday, the FBI arrested 6 men in a plot to kidnap Michigan governor. 7 other men were tied to a militia group and were arrested for also plans to kidnap government officials and kill law enforcement. In total, we have 13 people who were arrested who were trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan, put her on trial. They want to put her on trial for treason. And and it's just crazy. They had been organizing this since June. So this had been going on for months. They had been surveillance in her house, watching her every move. It's crazy how this group was trying to carry out this terroristic attack against a government official, and how one of the things I don't like is how the media is trying to basically call them a militia group of men. They're not a militia group. They're a bunch of terrorists. You can't have men trying to, you know, go over our process. I mean, they're trying to deny the process of being elected, and they're trying to kidnap her. And I mean, that's just, I mean, 2020 is just full of crazy things. And I mean, this is just one of them.
Couple points. One, I believe it was March or back in April, Trump had tweeted out something to the effect of "Liberate Michigan." And knowing that Trump is a cult leader who has a cult following, people are going to take that seriously. When he has a presidential debate and he says something like, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by," what's the first thing that's going to happen? You're going to have Proud Boys who go online, go on TikTok, Twitter, all these various platforms, and they say, "Yes, sir, we are ready. Give us the nod." So these people they're crazy. But the second thing that just boggles my mind is the Republicans, because this is a Democratic leader, the Republicans have not said a word about it. But think about it. If this was an African American or Hispanic group of males who were plotting to attack a Republican woman, oh, it would be the end of the world. You wouldn't hear the rest of it from Republicans. So it blows my mind. Trump tweeted out something to the effect of, "Oh, she's done a terrible job handling the virus. She should open up the state." Why don't you say, "Hey, this is a terrible act and should never, ever, ever be condoned. Don't do this." That's not how he operates. And so his following, they see him act in a vicious manner towards Democratic leaders, women. So, of course, they're going to act the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We know every time that this White House identifies me or takes a shot at me, we see an increase in rhetoric online, violent rhetoric. And so there's always a connection.
It makes you wonder, did this actually stem down from the White House? You know, Trump already had kind of put his feelings towards her on blast. So
Yeah.
I just feel like it was leading up to this the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Ever since right before the pandemic, or when the pandemic started, Trump, you know, he didn't like her. And the way I see it is like, if you're in the government, in politics, any kind of, you're a leader, it's like either you play ball or you strike out.
Yeah.
And she was about to strike out.
Yeah. But D, you made a really good point. You talked about how he's been putting the red meat out there. He's been blowing the dog whistle. And so like you said, Dex, he put out those tweets, and those tweets are basically to his base. Those are like his command orders to his base. That's him speaking directly to them. And so, you know, all he has to do is put out a tweet, and they have their marching orders. And so, I mean, how many more plots are there like this around the country? You know, we don't even know, but I'm almost positive there's other plots to try and take down Democratic officials around the country, because that's all Trump is just riling them up. He just keeps on putting fuel on the fire, making them get more and more extreme. I mean, this is stuff you see, like I said before, in a banana republic. This is stuff you see in a third world country. You can't have a leader who incites this much violence among government officials. I mean, this is America. This isn't Tijuana or some other country like that. I mean, we have to do things. We have to do things right. We have to set an example, and Trump is just destroying that example of how a true leader should be.
What do you think about the fact that this whole plan to kidnap her and put her on trial and all of that was scheduled to happen like right around the election day?
I mean, I think they didn't want her to get back in office, or they didn't want her, they wanted to take her out before that. I think that would have been, because I don't even think she was up for re-election, because she was elected in 2018. But I think it just would have, sent a message like, yeah, we captured you and now we're going to put you on trial. Now, what kind of trial were they going to put her on? Like, what judge were you going to get to try to prosecute this?
Not a legal one, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Goodness. I mean, and sadly, this is a pattern we've seen. When Breonna Taylor, her ruling came down, you saw the right-wing gang patrolling the streets with AR-15s, and they were ready to do whatever it took to keep the peace. And the problem is, Trump stokes these fires by making it seem like these people are good human beings. He makes these people seem like they are doing the right thing and they are good-hearted. And he also makes it seem like if a state, a city, whatever, is not led by a Democrat, oh, the state's going to hell. It's a terrible place, and the only way to restore order is to have a entirely led Republican nation. And so his following is going to go out and do whatever they feel is necessary to try and make that happen, whether it's kidnapping a governor or whether it's killing innocent protesters. They're going to do whatever they take to do it, and it's getting out of hand. It's been bad in the past, but it is especially bad right now.
I'm just wondering what election day is going to look like. I mean, how much chaos are we going to have on election day? We've already seen Trump telling his supporters to go to polling places. I mean, you can't even do that. So, I just know that come election day, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be bad. I mean, you might have some people getting shot on election day. And I really want to know, are there more groups like this? I mean, you can't tell me out of a nation with 300 million people, we only have 13 crazy weirdos. Nah, I know we have more than that. I know we got more people out there plotting against government officials, against protesters, against activists. So, like I always say on the show, y'all, we have to be careful, especially people that's speaking out against this, because you have a target on you, because we are ultimately speaking truth to power, and the oppressors, they don't like that. So you got to be careful. Get out to vote early. Early voting starts. So please get out there and vote, so we don't have to have some kind of craziness on election day, because that's not what's needed. We need to get rid of Donald Trump, and then we need to work on pushing Biden to the left. I mean, that's just the game plan.
Yeah, that early voting starts on the 13th. I think that's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I know that's out here in Texas. I know in some places early voting has already started. So.
Yes.
So I really tell people to get out there.
Absolutely.
Well, the thing that we have to do for this country, for the country's leaders, future leaders, is just, pray. Because at the end of the day, it's really led by God. He allows things to happen for a reason. Whatever the reason, we may or may not understand it, but there's always a reason. So we just have to weather the storm, because I think that either way it goes, whichever candidate wins, there's still going to be a storm. There's going to always be a storm.
Yeah.
Some storms may be a little worse than others, but there's going to always be one. And then, so with that being said, we just have to, be prepared and try not to let things sneak up on us. Like we have this year. This year has been the craziest year I've ever seen in my life. I know y'all agree with me too.
Oh yeah,
this has been one of those years I never thought that I would even be alive to see. Not like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when I talk to my 93-year-old grandmother and she says this is the craziest year out of her life, and she's seen segregation and and she's like, yeah, this is top. She's like, this is top. She's like, this is top 1 or 2. You know, that's really saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been through it all.
Yeah, she's been through it all.
Yeah, she's seen yeah. If this is as crazy as she's seen, then man, this year is really, really crazy.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
when you have a
Absolutely.
president like Trump in office, there's no telling what you'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why we know we can't do another 4 years of Trump. We can't.
No,
No.
Uh,
And
no,
you know,
not at
you
all.
guys know he said that this was going to be the most rigged election there has ever been. So he let us know that he has some plans for this election that's going to make it rigged. So,
exactly.
right now I don't know what to expect, but I'm expecting something.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's already crazy. I mean, he started out crazy, like stopping the postal workers and they're
Yeah.
not
Oh yeah.
doing overtime, and now
Oh
he
yeah.
wants to do whatever he can to stop the mail-in ballots, and that's why I tell everybody, look, if you can go to the poll, go to the poll. Don't mail it in. Go, because if you mail it in, it may not ever get there.
Yeah, it may not even get there. You don't
Absolutely.
even know. You know, these people might start burning down mail trucks.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I also heard that they're doing this to people where it's like when you try to vote now, they're telling people that they're not eligible to vote for whatever reason. Even if you voted in the primaries, I heard that they're just telling people that, oh, you can't vote, and like you got to register all over again. But then guess what? You can't register now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about, man. But
Voter suppression, that's just voter suppression. And if
yeah,
you're
they're
hearing
doing
it
it
out
all.
here in Texas, then you know it's probably the Republican Party because, you know, a lot of polls show Texas flipping blue. And, you know, if the Republicans ever lose Texas, you almost have a dying party.
Oh,
The Republican Party is almost dead if they ever lose Texas.
well, why do you think Abbott, reduced each county to only one place where you can go send in your ballots? Because some place like Harris County, which may be flipping blue, he doesn't want people to feel comfortable going out and sending in their ballots. So, oh, we're only going to have one location where you can turn them in per county in the biggest state in the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's asinine.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. I was like, that's asinine. Like, I mean, man, that's why, but that's why the biggest message I feel like of this year is rush to vote. Like, it really is like
Yeah.
really trying to push that initiative because it's so important. Without your vote, you have no voice. And without no voice, you have no say so in this democracy. And no say so in this democracy means you can't fight for change or you can't see any kind of change. So it builds upon each other. It builds upon everything. So really, everybody got to get out there and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't believe Trump when he stokes the fears of mail-in
Yeah.
voters. If you don't feel comfortable going out to vote, don't not send in your vote by mail because you listen to Trump and you're afraid this or that and the fourth is going to happen to it. If you don't feel comfortable going out to the ballot, that's okay, but still send in your vote regardless.
Yes. I also know that you can drop off your ballot too.
Yeah.
That we heard that in an interview with Miss Adrian Bell. She stated that you can actually just, if you don't want to go in, you could fill it out and just drop it off.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, they have
mailboxes, I guess
they have
slots.
boxes to collect it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can also do that. There's always a way.
Yeah, there's plenty of options. So people just got to look into them and find which course of action is best for them. But I'm pushing early voting. That's my thing. Like, get out there right now. Don't let anything discourage you right after work. Also, I know out here in Harris County, out here in Texas, early voting, you can vote anywhere. So you don't even have to vote in your county or district. You can vote if you live in Katy. You can vote in Cypress, Houston. If you live in Houston and you work out in Katy, you can vote out there in Katy. So please, everyone, get out there and vote. But I want to thank our guest, Dexter Tesch, the psychology major. Thank you so much, man, for giving your perspective, giving your role type on the show. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want you to kill that like button and be sure to subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Thank y'all.